Tonight, we want to introduce you to another Detroit 2020 Changemaker. 32 million Americans cannot read. And in Detroit, nearly half the population is illiterate. But there is a woman who believes she can conquer the problem one neighborhood at a time in just 5 years. Her Beyond Basics program can have you reading within 6 to 12 weeks.
Remember the movie The Blind Side? It was based on a true story about a high school football player struggling to read who went on to the NFL.
He had been...
Well, here you might call this story The Detroit Side.
Once I learned they couldn't read.
Starring Pam Good, whose passion for more than a decade has been literacy. 47% of Detroiters cannot read.
It is a tragedy, it's a crisis. It's not just a crisis here in Detroit, it's a national crisis.
In this story, instead of Michael Orr, insert Elijah Kraft, 6'8", more than 300 pounds, and who before meeting Pam Good was reading at a first grade level.
I never read in front of class until my 12th grade year of high school. So a lot of times when teachers used to call on me, I used to do something bad and make sure I get sent to the principal or something to make sure I didn't have to read.
His principal at Central convinced him to take a chance on the Beyond Basics program designed by Pam Good. Javier Reed was his tutor.
And he didn't give up on me. It was like, okay, I could work harder and I could do better. And then I met Miss Pam. And they did so much for me.
Every summer, Beyond Basics tutors are trained in the Tatum method of reading to go into schools to work with students one-on-one. Beyond Basics is now in 12 schools, including here at Mumford High. This young man was failing until he went through the program as a freshman.
Then my grades came up too because I was coming in here getting work done.
Pam believes her program can wipe out illiteracy at Detroit public schools.
And we can, if we were to just start tutoring every child in DPS right now, we could complete in somewhere around 5 to 7 years.
Tutors learn 25 concepts that teach the English language designed for those with brain injuries or even those with dyslexia, but works for many others like Elijah, who read his first book through this program.
Went home and I read that book to my mom. And it was like my mom broke out crying.
Now Elijah may have an opportunity to get a college education and even play football.
Literacy is a game changer.
Our Detroit 2020 game changer, Pam Good, and her Beyond Basics program.
Beyond Basics doesn't work without amazing donors. This month, General Motors gave the program $250,000 to benefit the first ever Beyond Basics Family Literacy Center in the city of Detroit. And if you'd like to learn more about Beyond Basics, please go to our website at WXYZ.com. But certainly an amazing program. I know you told me about Pam Good, and I mean, she is doing wonderful work.
And you talk about making a difference in lives of young people. Wow.